Hey, what's going on, Virgo? Forgive the background noise. Nothing I can do about it, but we're gonna hop into your reading, all right? You've been on my mind for a few days. You even had your reading get interrupted. I just tried to shoot it and it got blocked. So bear with the noise, bear with all the distractions. I think that you've got a lot of distractions going on, Virgo, preventing this message from coming out. Potentially even your intuition from revealing to you what it is that you need to know, right? You getting the downloads that are necessary at this point in time. But we're going to get this message out, all right? We're going to get this energy out for you. All right, new cycle in reverse here. So I feel like you've been trying to initiate something, start something anew. However, I feel like the past keeps getting in the way. This is where I feel like this message doesn't want to come out. Self-preservation reverse. So this message is coming back, right? It's reforming. We're not going to do a message about your past person because Spirit doesn't want that. I already asked, right? Meditated thought on this. Self-preservation in reverse, suggesting that you're too guarded and it's no longer serving. And I feel like this is why we've been unable to start something new, a new cycle, is because I feel like you're getting in your own way when it comes down to it. All right, Virgo, that's just what I'm picking up. So you're getting in your own way, right? Not taking up arms, not fighting for this new space. I'm getting release, right? Something needs to be released or let go. That's just how I feel. With Holocaust in reverse, this is basically the Tower card of this deck, suggesting that even though everything might feel like it's falling apart, or I feel like maybe life, or we feel like we're a mess, Virgo, okay? I feel like you think you're a mess, no longer who you once were. I think that's a good thing. And so while I feel as though you've been protecting your energy, I feel like it's come to a place or a point now where you're unable to make this transition into this new space, to this new person that you're becoming, or you've seen this transformation, right? It's time to leave the cocoon, right? The chrysalis is over. This is where I feel like life has become more or less of a drag, okay? I feel like not having fun at this time because we're so guarded, so bound up, so balled up, so tied up with trying to prevent something from falling out. But I feel this fallout's been necessary in order to have this new beginning, this new transformation of self, this new formulation of self. You're being urged to take action, take up arms, to fight for this transformation into the physical, from out of the spiritual. I've been called to take two. Slay the ego. Okay, so this is where I feel as though you're humbling yourself to experience or even vulnerability, opening up that heart space, right? That intuition space, as well as rising above, flying above, not taking something so seriously, but allowing enjoyment to come forward. Not everything is so personal, I feel, or has to be so perfect, right? I feel as though perfection is kind of an underlying theme here in trying to keep something from happening again or reoccurring. However, all this has blocked off your energy and left you in a place of potentially stagnation, or something's become mundane, right? This is just where I feel you're being urged to perhaps see life in a more light or free kind of a way, rising above the situation here. This goes hand in hand with that open heart space, right? And allowing yourself to pass through the situation, continue forward, move forward within your journey, within self, at ease and self-assurance and self-knowing, not being so hesitant to step out. To face life again. I feel as though the ego may be tripping you up here. I feel as though these opportunities are overwhelming, feeling like the right time will manifest, will appear, will show itself. However, I feel this hasn't been the case. And so now I feel as though you're emotionally overwhelmed, facing these new cycles, potentially too many opportunities, or just when it comes to the heart or emotional space, being overwhelmed by all of the possibilities as well as the potential risks and of how that might look like. However, I feel you're being called to humble yourself to the matters at hand, to open yourself up, to open your heart up to possibility that even if things might not work out, what if they did? Knight of Pentacles. This is a slow energy, but in reverse, I feel this is an even slower energy. And so, growth within the physical plane of seeing things happen for us have been stuck or very much challenged due to being overly guarded or caught up in relating everything to self instead of allowing something to happen. That's funny. We have taking up arms over here with no longer fighting, right? Taking up arms in reverse. So I truly feel as though you are not fighting for this new beginning, for these opportunities, for this new cycle to occur. And in this way, maybe falling into old habits of self. This is all a decision away. However, I feel as though this decision for you might well look like catastrophe, or the potential for something to happen again, for it all to come crashing down, to fall down. No longer being in self or doing what you once enjoyed. No longer seeing the growth and the harmony of happiness. I feel as though the time for meditation, for rest, for holding back has elapsed. And in this, you're being called to make a decision for self. Instead of healing, meditating, recuperating, now is the time to move forward and seize an opportunity from within the new foundation that you've made. I feel as though you're ready, Virgo, but you may just not see it or believe it or feel it. However, your path is leading you towards enjoyment, fulfillment. And it feels like there's something new to be built here, that you have the plan, but the plan needs you. Page of Pentacles hidden, and this is where I feel you haven't been offering yourself very much to the situation, to seeing this develop, to seeing this happen. The challenge is that I feel as though you haven't seen that or been conscious of it, rationalizing, perhaps making excuses, and that way reasons why you can't or won't, knowing that you should and could, knowing that you can. I feel as though you're being called to believe in yourself as well as to humble yourself, allowing things to happen or work themselves out. but putting in the work. And so this situation is a give and take situation. I feel as though you have to let something go in order to have something new occur or manifest, because the situation requires you, I feel, to giving effort, attention, giving things a chance or a shot. In order for you to become who you want to be, you have to give to that reality. This is where we've been slow to act, conserving ourselves, our resources. However, this new cycle may well become a missed opportunity as regret begins to mount or build. You're in troubled emotional waters, thinking that something cannot be or will no longer return, as though you've fundamentally changed. And while I feel a transformation has occurred, you have not lost all of self. You may be rushing to throw the baby out with the bathwater, if that makes sense. Throwing out the whole situation with only what needed to be let go, instead of recognizing self and allowing your destiny to unfold. This is the new foundation of you, going with the flow, Virgo. Instead, holding to an emotional stability by being consistent and allowing positive emotions to feed the inner self or the true self, slaying the false self, all the fears, all of the resistance, hesitation to what could go wrong, instead feeding into, giving to actions that you know are right or that represent the true self. And this is meant to be fun, this is meant to be enjoyment, and this is what that will look like. I just feel that this will be a fight, an inner fight to overcome perhaps a temptation or a natural desire to see things in a negative way or imbalanced, coming from an imbalanced place. I feel this is not to be rushed into, but is instead to be meditated on and understood. Not for too long, but to truly face and understand that the way forward is not through the past, but through the self, through understanding, and through conscientiousness to what it is you're doing, what it is that you're building. Instead of hesitating to take this leap, as though you're hiding away negative emotions, hiding from bad outcomes, operating in a false sense of self, as though you will need to move forward into the unknown in order to see this occur. That something won't be all figured out, that you're figuring it out along the way, and that this is good, that this is representing the balance that Spirit is urging you towards. That this is balancing out self, these emotional waters, by taking actions, taking steps forward. This is walking the path. And this is acting within your higher self, or higher sense of growth, of what is good for you. I feel this is becoming more clear, even through this read, that you are discerning what is upright and right for your growth. Letting the ego go in fighting for truth, balance of self. Yes. It is this clarity that is driving everything forward, being clear upon your purpose, who you are, and how that looks, that space, what that entails. No longer being guarded, right, from the bottom of the deck. No longer crossing your arms, turning your back on emotional growth because you feel you have it all, even though you know something is missing. What is missing is an opportunity. But the opportunity is the one that you give to self. That you're reaching out and grabbing to receive from the universe. I feel possibilities are being presented. It's simply upon you to take them through intuition, higher self guidance, allowing the possibility for what's good to outweigh a fear or resistance to the bad, all stemming from emotional instability, fear, worry in this place, holding on to something that simply wasn't, or bad experiences. No longer being left out in the cold, but instead taking a step inside, overcoming a fear or a challenge in this way, no longer being stubborn, but moving from the cold to opportunity by embracing self, allowing yourself to have fun along the way. I see the Lover's card, and I do see you meeting yourself in this way, your true self, your higher self, making a commitment within to start again, begin anew, to be vulnerable to the world. Because I feel you've learned the lessons necessary, that a transformation has occurred. And this is why I feel this ego energy is no longer necessary or required. I feel the lessons have been learned, the lessons necessary for you to progress into this new cycle. That this transformation has occurred. And that this is where the ego has met the end of its term and is no longer necessary. Now vulnerability and action, fighting for truth, fighting for you, possibility, is what's being urged forward. I've been called into this Ten of Pentacles. I see fulfillment here, a sense of purpose, belonging, well-being, satisfaction. as you step out of this energy and step into this new cycle, I feel you will really enjoy it. And that you've been led into this way, this direction, in order to make an offer to the world, and in that way receive what the world has in store for you, is offering you opportunities for love, balance, satisfying the intuition, meeting the clarity you hold within. I feel this is an action space and no longer strictly an emotionally guarded space, a worry, anxious, or fearful place. Leaving the meditation and getting up, stepping out into the world and meeting your very heart's desire, which is a sense of being and purpose. And that in this you're finding satisfaction or completion of a heart's desire, allowing fun to pour through. That's what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, definitely like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know what you're going through. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.